Hello, my name is Rick Hebron, and we're studying the Hebrew Aleph Bet. Today we're going to go to session number 7, and so far we have learned these letters. We've learned Aleph, we've learned Bet, and Vet, which is the same letter without the dot, Gimel, Dalet, He, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Yud, and Lamed. So we can make an attempt at our little song that goes with the Aleph Bet. Aleph Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, Vav, Zayin, Chet, something, Yud, something, Lamed, and a bunch of other stuff. Learning the Hebrew language can be really great. There's a lot of personal growth that comes from it. It's really great to be able to read the Hebrew Bible. The Bible is really wonderful to start with, but if you can read it in Hebrew, then there's all sorts of word play and literary devices that come into play. And none of this translates into other languages. Also, there's the modern place, Israel, the nation of Israel. How great it is to walk on the streets of Tel Aviv or Jerusalem and be able to talk to people, talk to shopkeepers, get directions from a bus driver, order food in a restaurant in Hebrew. And then there's the personal growth, the mental stimulation. If you tax your brain and ask it to learn a new skill, your brain becomes more agile, more elastic, and it slows down the aging process. We've been talking about the letter Vav. The letter Vav has 3 jobs, and the first one is as a consonant. By the way, it writes, if the ruling on the page is like this, the script looks like that, and the block looks like that. If we use it as a consonant, it goes V, like in the name David. It takes a vowel just like any other consonant. David, this little dot here is an I sound. David. Also, the word for and is actually a prefix. It hooks onto a word. V, and. We see it as a vowel. The Vav can be a letter O. We see this in the word for or, which is O. It means or. I'm writing it backwards. English goes from left to right. I forgot. Or. There's the word for uncle, dod. The word for aunt, doda. And we see one more job for the Vav. If it has a dot in its midsection, it goes ooh. Or you can write it like that. Ooh. And we see this in the word hallelujah. Hallelujah. And we see it in the word for a fly, a house fly. Zavuv. So these are the 3 jobs of the letter Vav. And at some point you'll get comfortable with them. If you think of it as originally having a w sound. The w sound of the vav is not that far from o. There's w, there's o, kind of similar. There's w and there's u. I can see where we might have brought the vav into play to represent those sounds. Before we move on to our new letter for this week, let's practice a little reading from page 22 in the book. Top of the page, starting on the right hand side. Chag. O. Ze. Chai. El. Haya. Hu. He. Glida. Halel. Chala. Zvuv. Chalav. Aval. Zahav. Hallelujah. Practice reading every week. Every day, preferably. It's not easy. When we meet in person in class, everybody reads every week. It keeps us on our toes, and we want to be able to have facility with seeing and reading the Hebrew words. So this week we'll learn a new letter. It's called Mem, and it goes Mem. In the script, it looks like this, making it from right to left. And in block, you can make it in one stroke, like my biblical Hebrew person does, or you can make it in two strokes, like I do. It looks a little bit like a kitty cat, and it goes as in meow. So with Mem, let's write a nice word, gamal, which means camel. Gamal, camel. Gamal, let's write it again. Gamal. 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 And to say my camel, oh yes, my camel. Gamali. 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 Write it. Say it. Gamali. Beautiful. Another word we can use the mem with is lomed. Lomed means study or studies. Lomed. What if we put our word gamal here? Gamal. Gamal, lomed. We haven't had enough letters for this yet, but what if our camel is reading from the Torah scroll? Joey, you can insert this picture here. A literate camel. Another word would be the word for mother or mom, ima. Ima. Mother, mom. Ima. So practice writing it. Write it. Say it. Ima. 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 Good. Today we're learning 2 letters, and we're getting credit for 1 because there are 2 different forms of the mem. If mem appears at the end of a word, we use the mem Sophie. Soph means end in Hebrew. In a biblical Hebrew class, they'll call it a final mem. The script, M Sophie, in the book, they make it look kind of like a fish. I make it something like that. It's like a cursive American A in a mirror image. There are a lot of different styles of the Mem Sophie in script. In block, the Mem Sophie looks about like that. It's got a sharp corner here, it's got a little tail there. Sometimes it doesn't have the little tail. But that's our Mem Sophie. With our Mem Sophie, we'll start with a word for mother, a more formal word, mother, M. M. And the word for also, gam. Write it, practice it, gam. Talk to yourself. Talking to yourself is good. Gam, also. The word for day, yom. Yom, day. Yom. Don't say yam, that's another word. Then there's lechem, means bread. Lechem, lechem, bread. If we were to put the word bet in front of it, bet lechem, the house of bread, also known as Bethlehem. With the Mem Sophie, we can write the word for children, Yeladim. Children, Yeladim. Yeladim. And by the way, the word for boy, which is the singular of that word, is Yeled. Yeled is boy. And girl is Yalda. Yalda. Children, Yeladim, boy. Yeled, girl. Yalda. And a word for God, one of the names of God, Elohim. Elohim. We have 2 vowels under this aleph. We have a shavah, because we're trying to shorten this word from 3 syllables to maybe down to 2.5. but we can't because the aleph is too hard to pronounce as a half syllable. So we showed that we wanted to shorten it, then we showed that we couldn't, and we had to give it an A vowel. We put both of them under there. Elohim. So for this week's homework, go to page 24. On the top, fill in the blanks. And these words have snuck in. The word for boy, yeled, and the word for girl, yalda, are in that exercise. Page 25, translate. Now, that's the homework. Also, remember to do Pimsleur Hebrew. Do your Pimsleur Hebrew. Whoops. Pimsleur Hebrew. One time, I heard a man named Mike Murdoch say, you can get anywhere you want if you're willing to take enough little steps to get there. And I thought, wow, that sounds like studying Hebrew. So we'll see you next session. Thank you.